Here we can see we have our infant rear-facing base for the seat. Sometimes there's a little bit of a lever here that you can use to adjust the level of the seat itself. You also see a little level here to tell you if it's at the right angle. You don't want the seat tipped too far back or too far forward. It will affect the child's breathing. So in order to adjust it, you can use this part here. If pushing this down and locking it in place is not sufficient, you can use rolled up towels or even pool noodles to help leverage it, get the right level for your seat base. All right, so you have your UAS clips here. You're going to just slide them and lock them into the anchor points of the vehicle, like so. So the base is in, but it's not in tight, and we want it to be super snug right here, right where the base of the seat meets the backrest. You don't want this section to move more than an inch in either direction. This will be the pivot point. This front part, it's okay if it shifts around, as long as the back pivot point does not move more than an inch. So to do so, you're actually going to get inside the vehicle, put your weight on it as much as you can, and you're going to tighten your anchor points. Sometimes there might be a little bit of a thing you can pull here. Other times, like in the case of this base, we're just going to pull right here and make it as snug as we possibly can. Now at this point, I'm not really focusing on the level. If you were installing this in your own vehicle, you wouldn't want to tighten it until you've gotten the level. As you're tightening it, you'd be watching it and making sure it's correct. So you get that nice and snug. And then from here, if you reef on the car seat, it shouldn't move more than an inch in either direction. Once you have your infant in the seat, usually this is supposed to be upright. Obviously, you want to check your car seat manual to make sure whether it's upright or pushed back. From there, you could just click it into location and you know your car seat is installed correctly. This is a rear-facing car seat. It's highly recommended for children up to 2 years and actually beyond if possible. It is by far the safest position to be in a car. If you think about how whiplash occurs, it occurs when we are projected forward in a vehicle. In the case of a sudden stop of the vehicle, the kid is just going to be pushed back into the backrest of the seat itself, and they won't feel any whiplash at all. So if your kid, it looks like your kid is starting to outgrow the seat, maybe their feet are starting to touch the back seat here, the backrest, that's perfectly okay. They can put their feet up here, they can hang them over the sides, they can crisscross them. It really doesn't matter as long as they're still meeting the weight and height limits of this seat. So this seat is actually rated up to 30 pounds, okay? I have a kid myself. I stopped using the seat at 15 pounds because it was quite heavy to carry this basket around with him in it. However, in theory, you can still use this on a 1.5-year-old kid like I have right now, provided they don't outgrow the weight or, like I said, the height where their head is too high on here. Any weight or height restrictions are going to be listed on the side of the car seat itself, on any car seat. One side will be in French, the other side will be in English. Okay, go ahead. So on this car seat, you can see there's quite a few stickers on the side. This here tells you that it's rear facing only, up to 35 pounds, minimum of 4 pounds. It also tells you the height limit, so the child's head must be at least 1 inch below the upper part of the car seat here. The other thing to note is the Canada Transport sticker here. This shows that this is certified and approved for use within Canada. Any car seat that does not have this is not actually legal for use in Canada. So we can't go to the States, purchase a car seat there, bring it across the border. Unfortunately, it's not permitted. So if you are not using the correct seat for your child, whether legally or according to their age limits, or if the seat is not installed correctly, or if the kid is not installed appropriately in the seat, then you are breaking the law and you can be fined up to $150 for that. But generally our priority is not the legalities of it, it's the safety of the child themselves. And this can mean the difference between life, death, or even injury, severe injury in a child. So when you are deciding where to place your child's seat, the safest position in the vehicle is actually in the center seat of the back row. That's because whether the car or vehicle is impacted from behind, sides, or forward, that's the most secure position. If that is not an option for you, then the second best place is actually behind the passenger seat. And that's because that is the curb side of the vehicle and it's safer to remove a kid in and out of that side.